You really have been telling us about this for a long time. You're one of the ones that have said we got to pay attention to this stuff. And I guess An Inconvenient Truth, the documentary, was eye-opening to a lot of people.
Yeah.
And now you've written this book. And tell everybody, I mean, we know what it's about, but what made you want to write this?
Well, the future is unfolding a lot faster now than ever in history. And along with global warming, we have the genetics revolution and the computer internet revolution and the resorting of the world's power relationships and the emergence of a fully integrated global economy, Earth Inc., a growth trajectory that's putting pressure on fresh water and topsoil. And my purpose was to try to get all of these 6 drivers of global change together in one place, look how they're interacting with one another, and identify the choices that we need to make to protect human values.
Mm-hmm. And what are you... Well, first of all, let me ask you this question, because there's a rumor, I don't know if this is true or not, that some scientists are trying to figure out a way to block the sun to try to slow down global warming.
Yeah, it's a measure of the feeling of desperation that some of them feel.
Are they really thinking they could do that?
Well, some of them are seriously proposing, and I think it's completely nuts.
Yeah.
You put another kind of pollution, sulfur dioxide, up to orbit cover the atmosphere. The sky won't be really blue in the way it is now anymore, but it would block out some of the sun's heat so that we wouldn't have to take the difficult steps to stop spewing all this global warming pollution into the atmosphere.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, there are a lot of problems with what they're proposing. It turns out plants need sunlight.
Yes.
It wouldn't stop the acidification of the oceans, and it really should be yet another wake-up call for why we need to stop putting all this pollution up there. We put 90 million tons every day up there, and that's what's drying out the soil, 60% of the country in drought last year. That's what's contributing to the worsening of these fires in the West. West Nile virus, worst outbreak ever last year, Superstorm Sandy. But we need to start speaking up and letting the elected officials know that the future matters to us, our kids and grandkids matter to us, and we need to start cutting down on this pollution.
Well, I think it does matter, but I think a lot of people just aren't educated enough, and it's because a lot of the information is kept from us, because a lot of people in power don't want us to know how bad it's getting and what we can do to change things. And I think there are things we can do to change. Like, give us some examples of what we could do to kind of reverse this.
Well, we need to make choices in our own lives to try to use renewable energy where possible. A lot of utilities allow you to sign up for it. But most important of all, in our role as citizens, we need to speak up, use the internet, connect with others, and let the political system know that we care about this. Winning the conversation is the key to a lot of changes. I remember when I was a young boy in Tennessee, when we won the conversation on civil rights. I remember one of my friends made some semi-racist comment, and another friend said, "Hey man, we don't go for that anymore." And that was during the time when that conversation was won. And the issue of gay rights. I saw a story recently about 2 gay guys waiting in the pizza line, and some homophobe made some nasty comment, and literally everybody else in the line spoke up and said, "Hey, cut that out." We're winning that conversation. It's a great thing. And
there's a lot, I mean, the evidence is everywhere, with all these superstorms, with the flooding, with everything. I mean, one of the reasons I'm vegan because I love animals, but it's also, for me, environmentally, they say that if every person just didn't eat meat, all meat, not just red meat, but chickens, one day a week, it would be the equivalent of taking 8 million cars off the road. Just one day a week.
Paul McCartney started this Meatless Mondays campaign, which I think is a great campaign. And since January 1, I've been eating that way, and I'll tell you that it has made me feel better. And so one day a week has got to be good for you, good for the environment. I recommend it.
Yeah. Well, the future is in bookstores now, and today you're all going home with a copy, and we can change this. We can reverse this. We need to do this for our kids. We'll be back.
The Rocky Mountains of North America, Home to some of the most beautiful, pristine forests in the world. But the shades of burnt gold and reds aren't the changing tones of autumn. They're dead and dying trees.
I have two words for you: predator drones. You will never see it coming. You think I'm joking?
As nature begins to die, we will be told that science will have to step in to save it. So, you'll have GMO trees as the answer. The silent forest, they call it, genetically engineered trees, non-reproductive, no fruit, nuts, blossoms, no insects, animals, birds. Low lignin, that's the wood fiber, which makes the tree very easy to cut and pulp. The silent forest will grow straight and tall and will be replenished by the state in what will be considered appropriate numbers and in appropriate locations. In May 2010, from this article, we learned that the USDA approved large-scale field trials of 200,000 GMO eucalyptus trees made by ArborGen, biotech company, to be planted from Florida to Texas. Now, we're told that the purpose of the trial planting is to evaluate whether such GM trees can become new sources of wood for paper and biofuels, also in the name of conservation and improvement. This is the story they give us. We're trying to conserve, we're trying to go green, we're trying to help. But then you come in up against articles like this, 2008. This was from something called the MIT Technology Review, an article announcing biochemistry's development of toxicity-resistant crops, in particular, in this article, aluminum-resistant plants. So the article tells us that aluminum in soil stunts the growth of crops. Wheat, corn, and barley don't fare well in aluminum-laden soils, but now scientists, plant scientists, have found a way to get the plant to shut down its own cell division, to stop the plant from shutting down its own cell division. Because when a plant encounters toxins in the soil, it says to itself, I don't want to keep growing. So it shuts down the cell division. But they have figured out a way to keep prompting those plants to produce reproduction. So this is a gene mutation, a single gene mutation that inactivates a protein so that the plant continues to grow. The quote from this article is very interesting. The plant is effectively blind to what's happening in the cell. And that's from biochemist Paul Larson. The mutant plants can maintain high levels of growth in the presence of toxic levels of aluminum, even if they sustain DNA damage. When something begins to die in nature, it attracts bugs, blight, molds, even viruses and bacteria. This is nature's way of hastening decomposition so that the dying form can become food for other living things. Today, we have an epidemic of tree decline all over the world, not just in America, but it's in Australia, it's in Europe. Thousands of square miles of die-off in the savannas and forests of many, many continents. And in cities and suburbs, trees are rotting as they stand, swooning, breaking. They are hazards to property, requiring removal. 6 trees around my house have been taken out in the last 2 years. Sunlight is a natural disinfectant. As hazy skies limit the sunlight, molds and fungus grow. As plants that are taking up toxins struggle to live, molds, viruses, bacteria begin to take them over. This is all part of nature, and bioremediation will be the obvious answer. Metallic salts have made our air conductive. This means that we and everything around us can transmit and propagate energy. The air is no longer neutral. It no longer supports, in a healthy way, living things.